Well, it is Monday night, and as promised, I'm delivering another 2020 NBA mock draft. How exciting, huh? Just killing the time until the NFL season starts. I kid. But what the weird thing is with the dynamics of how everything has played out this year is the fact that we're talking about the NBA draft in August, and we're still a couple of months away from it. That's crazy about it. So, anyways, I did promise the last time around where that first go round traditionally for me is always just the lottery picks. That the next time will be more expansive. I've actually done a full first round mock draft, and you can see that in the description box below. And feel free to review and leave your comments. Hopefully, you'll actually hear me out for some of the things that I say before you crap over everything that I put in the mock draft. Because let me be clear here, is I still expect quite a bit of change in my perspective on this and quite a bit of change on where I have people slotted in the next month and a half or two. So just because I have somebody somewhere now, in no way, shape, or form is representative of the fact that I think that they're going to be there when all is said and done. And part of it is, to me, trying to catch up and watch more of these guys and watch more game action and kind of get my interpretations and my sense of them is kind of what a lot of this comes down to. So trying to play catch up, trying to figure these guys out and try to figure out teams out and where they might be looking. So it is what it is. As far as the first pick, though, it is unchanged. It's still Anthony Edwards, the guard from Georgia. I look at him and I say he has the most scoring upside out of anybody in this draft class, anybody. Like, you could see him being a guy that's a mid-20s points per game scorer in the league at least in a few years. So if you're Minnesota and you're looking at Karl Anthony Towns, you're looking at D'Angelo Russell, you're looking at bringing another guy into the fold, a much better version of Andrew Wiggins, basically. And you look at Edwards, this is a guy that, shot selection is challenging for him, but he has dog in him. Like, he has top dog mentality in him. And if you're taking a dude number one overall, I think you want to have that kind of top dog mentality, and I think he certainly has it. He also has the potential, he flashes the potential to be an effective outside scorer. Even though that kind of came and went during his time at Georgia, I think you could certainly make the argument that you can see where he has the potential at times to get really hot from the outside and really be dangerous to have to contend with and deal with. Pretty good athlete, guy that's flashed defensive potential, like when he wants to shut people down, he can. Challenges, does he want to, and does he want to consistently? But you could say that about a lot of young players. The bottom line is the upside there is too great to me for the situation, for the T-Wolves to sit there and pass on him. Which brings us to Golden State at number 2, and this is a difference in my mock draft. And I think there's a couple of things driving this. And number one is I look at Wiseman and I say maybe as this was 10 or 15 years ago in the league, you're probably talking about him being the unquestioned number 1 pick or somebody trading up to number 1 to get him. But the league is different now. The times have changed. Therefore, the approaches and philosophies of front offices have changed. And especially when I look at Golden State, like, a lot of times we make big mistakes when it comes to mock drafts in general about talking about team need, but in particular, specifically when it comes to the NBA draft, we focus way too much on need because a lot of times these teams just are not concerned with need. They just take guys. They take their best player available and they try to figure it out later. So while a lot of people might look at having a big 4 or a big 5 that can defend and rebound and block shots and play some defense being the most pressing need for the Warriors, even if that is, it doesn't necessarily mean that the organization values that much. And furthermore, I don't know that they should. And I look at LaMelo Ball, and if you try to think of when were the Warriors the most successful historically during their kind of dynastic run, it was when they had their lineup of death. That was Curry, that was Clay, that was Iguodala, Durant, and Draymond. Like, that was their lineup of death that nobody could mess with. So yes, you don't have Durant anymore. You don't have Iguodala anymore. And you got Wiggins in the fold instead. But you'll hopefully have a healthy Steph Curry next year. You'll hopefully have a healthy Klay Thompson next year. You'll have Draymond Green still. Like, why would you not be trying to mimic some of that previous success by creating a new spin, a new version of a lineup of death? Which could lead them down the path of somebody like an Avdija, perhaps. But I look at somebody like LaMelo Ball, like, there's a tremendous amount of upside there. You're also talking about the ability for him to play the point and be a primary facilitator, which would significantly open up things for Steph and for Clay. Could you imagine LaMelo Ball breaking down defenses by getting to the hole? And now you got to figure out whether you double team on LaMelo or you leave Curry or Clay open on the outside, like how do you think that's going to go? It's going to take some pressure off of Curry as a ball handler. It's also going to provide you some protection in case Curry continues to have some injury issues down the road. If I look at it right now, like if you're Golden State and you keep that second pick, like you should not be going for team need. You should be swinging for the fences. You should be looking for something to bring you back into dynasty space. James Wiseman doesn't do that. I'm not guaranteeing that LaMelo Ball does by any stretch of the imagination because I have some questions about him. But I'm saying that's the right place to swing for the fence because he gets you closer to being able to realize that potential once again. Some of you are going to look at Charlotte at 3 and you're going to say, Obi Toppin? Really? It's MJ, man. Like, couldn't you totally see him going with the big-name college scorer instead of going after guys with more upside or more potential or guys that fit bigger needs? And especially in this case, since both Edwards and LaMelo would be off the board, like, doesn't Toppin feel perfectly suited to be the guy that Michael Jordan would surprise everybody and take at 3? Like, it could be something different. It could be Wiseman. It could be Okongwu from USC. It could be Avdija. It could be any number of people at that spot at 3. Like, I look at that right now, and, certainly there can still be changes between picks 1 and 2, and may very well be. I look at pick 3, and I say this could go any number of variety of different directions, and if for no other reason than just his kind of historical precedent. While he played at Dayton, and he didn't play at an ACC or some other big-name school, like, I look at him and I say, man, that feels like a guy Michael Jordan would be all over in the draft process. Wrongly, as per usual, but it feels like a guy that he would be all over in the draft process. I could be wrong, but we'll see. For now, Bulls fans, I still have Avdija going 4th. I could be moved on that. Could certainly change. I know there may be some of you that are intrigued by somebody like a Killian Hayes at this point. And I certainly wouldn't begrudge you for that because I'm intrigued by the possibility too. Like from the Bulls and their standpoint, sitting here at 4, like, you might look and you might see, well, you had Wiseman and the USC kid on the board. You had Okoro on the board. And why wouldn't you go after one of those guys? Like, this draft needs to be about upside. This draft needs to be about finding potential super studs. They don't have a super stud on their team. Wiseman could develop into a great NBA big man and still not be a super stud and not get you that much closer to winning a championship. And you could make the argument potentially that the USC kid provides more defensive versatility, flexibility, and more appealing, intriguing upside as a big man if you were going to take one. But you look at AK and you talk about his approach and his philosophy, like I can certainly see him going the Euro route. I just really like the Avdija kid. I just do. Which leaves Wiseman there for the Cavaliers to take at pick 5. The way they've been so guard-heavy in their past couple of drafts wouldn't surprise me. They took another damn guard for all the hell we know, which again just brings up the larger point of, not drafting for team need, and we put too much emphasis or focus on need sometimes when it comes to the NBA mock drafts in particular. And I certainly think that could play out here. But again, this is my entire first-round mock draft. Next time we go around, I'll do another one-rounder, but I'll probably talk about more prospects and different players. Specifically, I'll try to focus on guys that I think are going to move up or move down in terms of their stock in the weeks to come. Let me know what you think of my mock draft. Let me know if my philosophies or approaches are crazy or don't make any sense, because I know some of you will be glad to make sure that you point that out. Or let me know what you think. Let me know what you agree with. I will be curious to see your responses. I'll see you later.